Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So Ethereum has rallied a bit. It's not aggressive enough to really confirm that Ether is following that yellow scenario we talked about in the last video. So let's talk about the two pathways. I've made minor adjustments in this correction or in this corrective structure. Okay, we always have to adjust these corrective structures. As I said before, the structures within the correction, microstructures, don't really have much predictive quality. We can still identify some turning points, likely turning points, support levels, and so on. But yeah, microstructures in corrections, they tend to change. What is important in a correction? It's important to understand when the first 5-wave move to the upside unfolds. So that's why we track the micro, because that can tell us that, for example, a low has formed and that maybe the correction is over. At the moment, I don't expect the correction to be over. I hope that's a very clear statement. Doesn't mean it couldn't be over. Yeah, it could be, but it's just not very probable at this stage. So I still think it's likely to see lower prices. The main question on this chart that arises is, can we hold the important $2,975 level? Very important support level. As long as it's holding, Ether can keep its impulsive potential on the chart and the daily chart doesn't have to change. If Ether continues to drop lower and breaks below 2,975, which it hasn't done yet, then it would need some kind of an adjustment on the daily time frame. Okay, so at the moment that's not needed, but I'm obviously very much, I want to say, cautious, because this initial move down, which bottomed on the 20th of March, moved down so deep that without a healthy B wave, Ether would break support most likely in the next move down. But if the B wave is healthy, as I've just shown, then in the move down, Ether can hold support in a large ABC structure or so. So just want to explain again the importance of a healthy B wave on the Ether chart. Now let's talk about the two structures that we have been observing, largely unchanged. I've changed a small thing, but the support areas or resistance areas are not affected, and that's really what counts. Let's first of all talk about the white count. Here I've made a small change. The white count was an A, B, C structure before, but I mentioned to you already in the last video, I don't see a clear micro path to the downside, but it's become more probable that if the white count is playing out, it's a WXY, not an ABC, because the move down looks corrective. The move down from the 26th of March down into yesterday's lows. So, or actually it was the Tuesday low. So I've got it as a W now, X wave, Y wave down, and in the Y wave, we're dealing with an ABC structure. So the A wave could have bottomed already. Ideally, I wanted to see one more low, but we might not see that. The B wave could be unfolding now. Even if it stretches higher, it could still be that. And then a C wave down. That's a rally that would make people bullish again. Everybody's like, oh, the correction is over. And then it comes down. That's what the B waves are there for. That's why they were invented. Okay, fake out. So that's the white count. In the white scenario, if the B wave, even the B wave in the white count, if it rallies aggressively, it could assist in holding the 2,975 level. So from that point of view, if the B wave is high, we might have a realistic chance in the white count even that the support level holds. If the B wave is weak and we crash down now, we're likely breaking it. So that's why this WXY structure transformation, which I've made because of this rally we've seen today, which is only corrective at the moment, but because of that development is actually good for Ether. So that's good for the chart and the long-term outlook for Ether. And the yellow count has also become a little bit more probable with today's rally. And in the yellow count, obviously we're exploring the idea of a high B wave in a slightly different structure. It would be large A, B, C before we come down. Okay, so then here A, B, C. The difference is that in this scenario the B wave rally is still unfolding. It's just forming a larger flat structure. And it could drive the price to 3,840 plus. And that would put ETH in the best position to hold the 50% retracement level support. I tried to be crystal clear about that in the last few days, and I think I have been. In the yellow count, it's even possible to see one more low before that small B wave bottoms, but with that rally today, if I see it go a little higher, I will consider the B wave bottomed, and the wave C of the larger B wave is already rallying. So they're just the potentials to watch at the moment. And yeah, but overall not much happened. I mean, not really much exciting stuff going on. We're still, and that's sort of, I think, at the moment clear, we're still moving in a correction. The correction can still take various forms. I've decided to show two potentials here. The WXY, which is putting Ether into a better position already, but the B wave would need to be more aggressive. And the yellow count, which would put ETH into the best position to hold support, yeah. If we crash down now, it still is a potential that we come down into this area around, 2,740, maybe 2,560. Wouldn't be a disaster, but it would make the long-term chart less clear. So what do we need to do now? I think at the moment it's about, well, for anybody who's entering in the orange zone, the rally in the yellow B wave could be a decent profit-taking opportunity. And the potential is also there on the chart for a high B wave to remind you that, look, this is likely just a B wave. So it tells you where you could consider to take some profits before the C wave down happens. And until then, we just need to watch these parameters, 3,205, especially 2,975, and do the bulls turn up and complete the correction before support breaks. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.